begin in Switzerland, where the Syrian peace talks are off to a rocky start. Among the highlights, the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon clashing with the Syrian Foreign Minister and U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry declaring that peace talks will not succeed until Syrian President Bashar Al-Assad steps down. CCTV's Richard Bestick has details from Montreux.
On these streets outside the peace conference, supporters of the Syrian President Bashar Al-Assad brought a sense of the yawning gulf that exists between government and opposition. Around the negotiating table, the formal order of business was to agree a transitional government that would remove Assad from office. That's a red line for the Syrian government, and it wasn't long before there were angry words as the Syrian Foreign Minister overran his allotted time.
Can you just wrap up in just 1 or 2 minutes?
No, I can't promise you. I must finish my speech.
Then I'll have to give equal time to opposition group. So
yourself, you live in New York, I live in Syria. I have the right to give the Syrian version here in this forum.
For its part, the National Syrian Coalition called on the government side to immediately sign up to a transitional government.
Any talk of Assad staying in power would be a derailment of Geneva. So we are not in any position to discuss anything before this issue has been decided.
U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry had described the talks as an opportunity, but added the Syrian president must go.
Bashar al-Assad will not be part of that transition government. There is no way possible in the imagination that the man who has led the brutal response to his own people could regain the legitimacy to govern.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov repeated Moscow's line against outside states meddling in Syria. The Chinese Foreign Minister announced China's providing additional humanitarian aid and urged the international community to avoid imposing a political solution on Syria.
The international community should provide constructive assistance to Syria so the two sides can find middle ground and exert the UN's role as the main channel of mediation.
Regardless of the low expectations and regardless too of the limited prospects of a quick success, these Syrian peace talks are breakthrough. For the first time in 3 years, the Syrian government and rebels are together facing each other across a table. And for some, that in itself is an achievement. Richard Bestick, CCTV, at the Syrian peace talks in Montreux.